Hi, welcome to Open Seating. I'm your host, Brian Lee. My first guests today are Rick Shafel, the manager, and Shawn Bortz, the executive chef of the Wonder Bar. Thanks, guys, for coming back.
Our pleasure, our pleasure.
And what's new in the last month?
Well, we've been participating in a couple fundraisers for, one of them was domestic abuse. We gave 10% of our profits the other night for that benefit. And we also took part in a silent auction for the mallards, and we purchased a pink bat. And all the players signed it, and it's a nice piece. We've got it hanging there at the Wonder Bar.
So you guys do a lot to give back to the community.
We're working on a few more things also, but you know, we're always willing to stretch out there and make
Very
something
nice.
happen. Yeah.
Well, I saw backstage how much food you guys were preparing, so I'm hungry. What's first, Shawn?
First, we get the wedge salad. Our wedge salad, usually a typical wedge, stands up tall. We decided to go circular. I went to a place in Chicago, and it just made it easier to eat. The appearance was better. And then we also use our fresh baked bacon, and we also have our blue cheese Roquefort dressing on top.
Well, very nice. You know, even for a wedge salad, this is pretty big. I mean, do people actually finish this?
A lot of people don't, but once again, we like to have the wow factor at the Wonder Bar. You know, that comes out on your plate. That's a great start to your meal, in my opinion.
Well, it's a good blend of the tanginess from the Roquefort and the saltiness from the bacon. That's fantastic. And so in the second half, we're going to be checking out some steaks, right?
Yes, we've got some. We've got our house steak, which is a Manhattan. Now, the Manhattan is it's cut from the center of the New York strip loin. So a lot of people serve it flat. We like to serve it like a tenderloin. So once again, it's the wow factor.
Okay.
You know, and then we also have our cowboy, which is a very popular steak. The difference between that is, you know, it's got a bone-in ribeye. The bone brings a lot of flavor to the meat, and there's some beautiful fat on there. And we age all our steaks for 28 days. Most places will go 21. So.
Well, those look absolutely fantastic, and I look forward to having them in the second half. We'll have more with the Wonder Bar folks right after this. I am very hungry, and I'm just going to smell this during the commercial break. Ooh, this guy right here, Shawn, he is sizzling. Look at those steaks.
All right, well, here, let's set up our Manhattan. Like I said before, I'm a beef purist, so I just believe in the butter and the salt and pepper. If I can get it out
That
here.
is a tall boy right there.
There we go. Now we got some butter
Okay,
and a little salt, pepper.
Tasty.
all right.
And
Right
this will
on.
be our cowboy.
Wow, this looks incredible. That's fantastic. I can see why that's your signature steak. Does that outsell everyone else?
That and the cowboy are very close, and then of course our 6-ounce tenderloin. It seems like you can't get, everybody loves the tenderloin, you know.
Okay, I can't wait. This is my favorite cut right here.
That's mine too.
How do you like your steaks?
I like my steaks very rare.
It's super tender. It's like butter cutting it. It's perfectly done. And I just got a total mouthful. So I'm curious, when people come in for the first time, are they pleasantly surprised by your prices?
Yeah, that's something when we first opened, we talked about, and we really wanted to be part of that, that we were quality food, but still cheaper than the normal steakhouse. So we really pride ourselves on that, having great food and charging a lower price.
Yeah, it was all part of the experience we talked about.
Absolutely.
And we want people to come in, have a great experience, and not want to leave.
I want to keep tacking these steaks. They're so good. I'm curious, what are some of the add-ons you can put?
We have our Oscar style, which is crab and asparagus and béarnaise sauce. We also have hollandaise. We have whiskey peppercorn. We have a poivre. And I think that's about
And
it.
the mushrooms you make.
The mushrooms and the
those are
onions
beautiful,
too.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a purist. I love it just the way that is. Looks like you have a dessert here for me to try?
Yes, that's a little creme brulee. All our desserts are house made at the Wonder Bar too. So we have 3 different desserts. We have a flourless chocolate tort, we have our creme brulee, and then we have our old-fashioned cheesecake.
All right, I'm digging
And
right
the
in.
good thing about that is my mom makes all the desserts, so it's a good time in the morning. And then we have our port wine here that Rick poured.
Oh, very sweet, very creamy. It's a good way to cap off this meal. And the support, you said?
Yeah, you pair those together, there's nothing like it.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
port's gotten more popular nowadays.
Yeah, it's taken off. It's people have it for dessert sometimes, but yeah, it's getting a little more well known. We have a Colburn that's pretty popular.
And what are some of the other desserts that you guys serve?
We do the flourless chocolate torte, and then we also do our old-fashioned cheesecake.
And do people pair it with coffee too, or more
Yeah.
cocktails, a Manhattan?
A lot of coffee with the cheesecake. The torte, I think a lot of people it's so decadent because we have fresh whipped cream on there, fresh berries, and then we top it with Reese's peanut butter pieces too.
And the
so
chocolate torte, they pair that with Cabernets.
there you go.
Okay, so someone had that big wedge salad, then this huge monster of a steak, and they somehow made it to dessert. That actually
Absolutely.
happens, huh?
Oh yeah.
It sure
You bet,
does
you
happen,
bet.
yeah.
Do people ever just come in for drinks and dessert?
All the time, all the time.
And people can sit at the bar and have their full meal there too, right?
Yeah, all the time. It's actually a very popular place for our people to sit there. They come in and they'll wait for a chair. So, yeah.
And you have upstairs space
Seat
too,
about 60 up there.
and you can rent that out for private parties and so
Yeah,
forth.
we work with people on parties. We got Christmas coming up, so I sense we'll have some bites there.
So yeah, you're gonna be even busier coming up, huh?
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
And I'm curious that there's parking in front, but there's parking in the back too. People may not know that.
And on the side at the WPS building too, that's all available after 5 o'clock. So.
Available after 5 o'clock. Okay, great. Well, thank you guys so much for
Thank you.
appearing on
Appreciate
the
it.
show again.
Thank you.
This is fabulous stuff, folks. I'm serious. You got to try that cowboy steak or the signature steak. I'm going to digest during this commercial break.